Welcome to New York. Welcome to the war.
Ah, Crysis, how you inspire PC gamers everywhere to think about all your thrilling visuals. Of course, the original was more than just eye candy. It was a fantastic sci-fi shooter too, featuring plenty of enemies of both the human and the alien kind. For Crysis 2, developer Crytek has left behind the North Korean jungle in favor of the urban kind of jungle. The sequel takes place in New York City, and while it takes a little while to get moving, you should stick with it. That's because Crysis 2's second half is absolutely thrilling, featuring large-scale battles in big city squares and across rooftops. This all occurs against an eerie backdrop of a city collapsing in front of your very eyes due to a horrific alien invasion. It isn't as sandboxy as the original, but Crysis 2 still feels unique. It's a nice change from all the linear corridors and most modern big-budget shooters, but still delivers a lot of cinematic wonder. It's occasionally amazing, though it is unfortunately held back by mediocre AI and some online troubles.
Run, Alcatraz. You and that suit are our only hope.
You play as a Marine called Alcatraz, and like Nomad from the original game, you're equipped with a nanosuit. You get this suit from Prophet, though the circumstances under which you receive it are best left to discover on your own. What's important is that the suit infuses you with special abilities. You can jump really high, you can cloak yourself and become practically invisible. You can enter armor mode and take a lot of bullets. But like many fancy and expensive things, someone else wants that suit too. So not only must you defend New York City against an alien horde, you must also deal with a bunch of soldiers that are out to get you. The characters aren't all that interesting, and the story, like the rest of the game, gets off to a slow start. But once it's in full gear, you'll want to know what's going on and where you fit in. And it all leads to an ending you probably won't see coming. What a nice change, to set up a sequel without resorting to a dumb cliche. And so you move through this amazing vision of a New York City that's crumbling around you. Once you get past the first few hours, you'll see some spectacular sights. Crysis 2 is a looker, and it does a great job of bringing this devastation to life. It doesn't utilize DirectX 11, but that doesn't mean you won't be wowed by the technical aspects. The draw distance and lighting are terrific, and the game is filled with tons of marvelous details. The game runs incredibly smoothly in spite of all the destruction around you, and we didn't run into any of the bugs or texture pop-in that trouble the other versions. It's odd that the menus only offer a few preset graphical options. It doesn't give you full control over stuff like anti-aliasing, anisotropic filtering, and the like. You can still tweak them with console commands, but you shouldn't have had to. Still, that's a nitpick. Crysis 2 looks gorgeous. When you first start, you might wonder what everyone saw in the original Crysis. That's because one of the first things you notice is the AI and how poor it is sometimes. Soldiers might stare at you but do nothing, or fail to respond to you filling them with bullets. Or they will stand right next to an alien, but both will do nothing, more like they're hanging out than they're mortal enemies at war with each other. The AI never really gets better, but once the invasion is in full swing, it rarely stands between you and the thrills that come. It'll be a few hours, but once you're there, you'll love how Crysis 2 doesn't feel like most other games. Some of the battlefields are really big. Maybe not Crysis 1 big or Far Cry 2 big, but you still get tons of room to maneuver, lots of nooks and crannies to hide in, and tons of chances to flank the enemy and take them by surprise. You approach many battles from a rooftop or ledge above. This gives you a chance to use the scan mode on your suit to check out the environment, and then decide how you want to proceed. This is where Crysis 2's variety comes from, the great flexibility that the big maps and the suit give you. Being careless gets you killed fast, but your suit's armor mode still lets you go balls out when you want to. Go cloaked, and you can flank attacking aliens or take them down with a stealth kill. All around you, the earth shakes, skyscrapers tumble, and you get a sense of what it might really be like to be in New York City under alien attack. There are few on-rail sequences here, so the sheer fun comes mostly from the amazing shootouts. You can rip guns off their emplacements and squash soldiers under the wheels of an armored vehicle. And because the vertical environments break up your line of sight, you get use out of the entire arsenal of guns. Those guns can be outfitted with various scopes and enhancements, as can your suit powers, which can be upgraded by collecting the nanocatalyst aliens leave behind when they die.
Find him. Affirmative. We've got visual.
The final hours of Crysis 2 are incredible. Fun, tense shootouts against hordes of enemies in recognizable places that are burning to the ground and falling apart in front of your very eyes. You get a good 10 hours or so out of the single-player campaign, so Crysis 2 is a good value compared to many other shooters. But it also sports a multiplayer component as fully featured as anything else you'll find on store shelves. And because you get to use the suit powers there, Crysis 2 carves out a place on the landscape. The maps are many, and there are 6 modes in total. To keep you playing, there's an elaborate system of unlocks, multiple slots for creating your own custom class, dog tags to collect, and a lot more. Unfortunately, there are some technical hiccups in online play. Ranked servers don't seem to be working. The matches never start. Yet we still earned XP and ranked up playing in unranked servers. And you'll want to select games from the server browser since no one seems to be really using the matchmaking. So there are some problems, but make no mistake, this is a terrific shooter that may not feel exactly like Crysis 1, but also doesn't feel a whole lot like anything else either. And with so many FPSs coming out that try to be like all the other ones, Crysis 2 might be exactly what you needed. A great reminder that not all shooters need to usher you down a series of linear corridors on your way to the next cutscene. It's got some unfortunate drawbacks, but when all is said and done, what you'll remember most are the thrills of taking down big nasty aliens in a city where you're the only hope for survival.
Okay, your diversion worked. They're moving troops away from Wall Street. This is our chance. Now,